I've been posting videos every single day since like my last birthday, and only quite recently I stopped doing that 365 days challenge. From posting videos every single day, I've gotten like quite a lot of views and a lot of companies reached out. And yeah, just so happened that one of them was the IME Entertainment, and then I think they ordered 500 keychains. At that time, I wasn't so focused on, I gotta like make this our business and everything. It was just for fun. Getting sales was definitely really tough because nobody knew about my business at that time also. For my small business, it was really just a lot of trial and error. I was afraid to try a lot of things, but I still did it anyway. And I think it's about risk management. So I didn't want to go into something like put all my eggs in one basket. Like that is a bit too risky for me. But I'm not really afraid to just try different things. So whenever I try different things, I reflect a lot and I think, what can I learn from this? If it's not good, I'll really just like stop.
Welcome back to TFC Business Show. I'm your host, Reggie, aka your Chief Financial Coconut. And today I have some interesting guy in studio. But I actually saw his video on Instagram. Apparently he went viral because some K-pop guy, wore his keychain, right? Keychain, right?
Yes, keychain.
Okay, yeah. And then I went through the whole, his whole page, and I saw that, he kind of built this business at home and then moved into a bigger space and took it more serious. So I was like, hey, this is an interesting guy. So I'm very glad to be in studio with Dylan. For our audience that don't know you, would you like to introduce yourself?
Firstly, thank you for having me here. Okay, I'm Dylan and I'm the artist and owner behind dchtoons. Basically what I do is I create and sell relatable illustrative stickers. I've mainly built my business around stickers.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. Never in my wildest dream I would have thought of building a business around stickers, right? But before we go into your founder story, how you started with that, right? Tell me a little bit. What the hell happened with the whole K-pop star thing? Yeah.
Okay, so basically what happened is there was this company called IME Entertainment, and they bought my keychain, my $100 million note keychain. Wholesale, I think about 2 to 3 months before the whole K-pop thing even happened. And I actually didn't know what they were going to use it for. When I asked them, they also said like I don't think they even revealed anything. I didn't know what to expect. But then fast forward a few months later, I think just last month, I got a DM from some of my followers and they were saying, hey Dylan, isn't this your keychain? And then I was like, oh, what is this? And then I clicked on the picture and then I see it's like from some K-pop group. After I saw the picture, and then I went to research a bit, and then I found out basically the company that purchased wholesale from me, they host this kind of K-pop concert events, all that. And then they put my keychain inside their giant gachapon machine. There was one of the K-pop artists. He played the gachapon machine. He got the keychain and he was doing it on live, I think. So there was some members that have exclusive access to this kind of videos. And one of my members and one of my followers were in that group and shared the video to me. A few days later, Xion played the machine, got the keychain, and a few days later, there was another piece of news from my followers that told me that the keychain appeared on another member's bag, and his name is Yushi. From speculation, they said maybe Xion gave the keychain to Yushi. Yeah, so after that happened, I went to research a bit and see videos of Yushi walking with the bag and my keychain dangling there, and it was broadcasted on different media channels. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's so cool.
Yeah.
So of course I had to make a video about it.
I saw. And you zoom in. It was a bit pixelated, the picture.
Yeah, I tried to make the most of what I have.
Yeah, but you zoom in the thing. You see.
Yes,
So
yes.
tell me a little bit about the whole wholesale kind of situation. How did they even get in touch with you? What was that process?
Actually, most of the companies, when they reach out to me, it's all the same way. They just email me. I'm guessing they got to know me through my videos. Probably how you also came across. For some context, I've been posting videos every single day since my last birthday. And only quite recently, I stopped doing that 365 days challenge. From posting videos every single day, I've gotten quite a lot of views and a lot of companies reached out. And yeah, just so happened that one of them was the IME Entertainment. And then I think they ordered 500 keychains.
Walk us through, how do you start this whole thing?
It all goes back to 2021, when I first started this brand dchtoons. It wasn't even a business at first. It was just like an art account where I drew comics for fun. And after a year of doing that, I kind of wanted to like monetize it a bit. So that's when I started thinking of like, oh, what kind of illustrative merchandise can I do? And stickers, like to be honest, they were the lowest cost thing to make. And it also allowed me to explore making more designs. Like for example, if I made a t-shirt, it would cost a lot and I could probably only do like one design. The reason why I wanted to even monetize it, right, was because at that time, when I started to monetize, it was 2022 already. So I was 18 years old. I wanted some financial independence. Like, I wanted to be able to earn my own money so that I can spend on the own things I like can go out with friends, can buy the own food that I like to eat. It was a way to like kind of give me my own pocket money. Yeah.
Who knew now you can buy your own house?
No, I cannot yet. Cannot.
Yeah. Okay, after that?
So after that, I really dived into like just making stickers, and because they were like so affordable to make, I really made a lot of designs, and really quickly it went up to about 40 plus designs. And at that point, I was thinking I wanted to explore something different. So I started to do booths. I think that was kind of when my business started to feel more serious, because I wasn't just like behind the phone, like trying to make videos and put up like advertisement kind of things. I was actually at a booth talking to real customers, and like people are actually buying from me upfront in real life. Basically what I did to kind of grow the business was every time I earn like this amount from the booth, I take like almost all of it, I put it into the next booth to pay for the rental, but always keeping like a little bit to save up. And yeah, I did like a lot of booths, maybe about 10 booths later. The business has already grown quite significantly. My Instagram account was at 500 followers. And maybe after like a couple of booths, every booth I'll get maybe like 50 to 100 followers, because I put like my socials on the backing card like that. After like quite a number of booths, I hit 1,000 followers, and it was like a really huge milestone. And when I hit 2.5k followers, that was when I did that 365 days challenge, and that was when things really went like crazy.
Okay, great. After that, you will know like how crazy the business went. But in phases, okay, let's talk a little bit about the journey, right? So when you first started, okay, it was an illustration account, and then you want to make some money, so you designed the stickers, right? From then to before the booth, right? How was the business looking like at that point in time? Your personal experience, yeah.
Okay, I would say that was probably one of the toughest parts. But at that time, I wasn't so focused on, I gotta like make this whole business and everything. It was just for fun. But at that time, getting sales was definitely really tough, because nobody knew about my business at that time also. But mostly a lot of my family and friends were supportive. In a way, I think that was something that contributed to made me want to grow the business more, because I realized even though my business was earning money, it was from my family and friends. So it's like, I don't want to like run a business to take money from them. I want to take money from other people that I don't know.
From K-pop fans, which you don't even remember the artist name. Okay. But even at that point in time, you were increasing your sticker numbers and all that. Like, what's that thought process? Because usually how business people think is something must work first, then we increase the SKU, right? Or we increase the per unit, or at that point in time, were you just like tinkering? That's why you just keep creating and keep printing, what's the thought process?
So the thought process was, I first wanted my business to be like a go-to sticker shop. Something that I wanted to be like committed to was to have a wide range of designs to choose from. If not, the sticker shop won't be very interesting. So I actually made a goal, and I told myself by end of 2023, my first booth was in like March 2023. So I like slightly less than a year to hit this goal. I started off with 40 designs, and I told myself by the end of 2023, I wanted 100 designs. And I hit that goal. So after I hit my 100 designs mark, I told myself, okay, I gotta like try to find ways to increase the item price of like certain merchandise. So that was when I explored keychains. The keychains was a bit like of a strategic move, I would say, because I only made keychains based off the most popular sticker designs. So like in a way, the stickers kind of like a test water kind
test
of
bed,
thing.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how we do content these days. We'll test all the content on social media because that's cheap. Whatever that's working, then we'll make it into a podcast because that's the most expensive content category in our arsenal.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That is interesting. Then tell me a little bit that experience, how was it and how do you look at that whole thing? How do you decide like this is the booth, all that?
I think for booths, I would say it's kind of a tough thing to expect sometimes because when you first start out, you don't really know what to look out for. Like now that I think I've done more than 50 booths already. So I'm able to kind of see the red flags and all that.
Tell us. Yeah.
Some red flags is if the organizer, it's like the communication is not very strong, and like the marketing, you can see like from their posts they're not very strong on marketing also. Usually that will be quite a red flag for the event. Also location, super important. If it's like at some ulu, not very accessible place, that's also a red flag. One more thing is the pricing of the booths. Smaller art markets, they are about $30 to $50 a day, and the slightly bigger ones are about $100 a day. And those like really big convention halls one, like Public Garden, like all those in those Suntec Convention Hall, those can go up to like $250 to even like $500 per day, which is kind of crazy. So if you see like a really new event organizer charging really high, then that's also like a bit suspicious lah.
Okay. So knowing what you know, because you've tried many booths, right? If somebody is trying to sell like a small ticket item, right? Essentially what you're doing, how much is a sticker?
My stickers are going at $1 each when you get 5 pieces and above. If you just get one, it's $150 at my booths.
Okay. And then the keychain is about $8.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would just collectively call it like a small ticket item lah. Like people do small little things and you want to sell at art market or something. So if someone wants to recreate your strategies in the booths, right? Or if you were to redo this whole thing after trying 50 booths at different price point, like what would be the strategy? What works?
I think, my pricing strategy that I think really worked for me is that instead of pricing my items like what you would normally see, like 5 for something, 3 for something, like I could have went with 5 stickers for $5, but instead I went with 5 pieces and above, $1 each for all the stickers. So that way it kind of removes that limitation, and when shoppers like kind of pick the stickers, they won't have to choose in multiples of 5. They just take what they like. And with $1 being quite a low value, people don't usually think much of just taking a sticker. So I mean, honestly, I see the buyers, right, when they take the stickers, they don't even notice that they have taken like 20 stickers. And then end up $1 sticker becomes a $20 purchase. So I think that was what really worked. That whole idea, I think it came from Daiso at that time before they increased their price. So it was the $2 items there, everything's $2. I remember falling into that, like every time I enter Daiso, I come out spending much more than $2. Yeah.
Okay. So you're becoming like a capitalist, right? Like a shrewd capitalist. It's like, $1, never mind. Just take. Yeah. But is that so that is the pricing mechanism, right?
Yeah.
But are there certain booths that you think, or certain, because for some reason I know a little bit about this booth space, right? Like the popular ones, right, are snapped up, right? You especially as a new entrant, you don't bring extra value to the market, right? You kind of queue up with everybody. I think that's probably your experience also. So like but with your following today, the people, they probably give you even pro rate. They just want you to be there. There's those are stuff, right? But when you first start, you're nobody. So if somebody is doing that, what are some booth spaces that you think is like underrated that you should try? Certain areas at certain price point makes sense?
Oh, it's honestly quite hard to say because the whole event space market is always evolving. But like sometimes when I first started out, some of the places that I boothed at, now the market is like a bit slower also. So may not be like what worked back then might not work now, like in terms of the event venue. But actually there's a lot of event spaces that don't have curation. So you don't actually have to wait for the results whether you're in. There's a lot that you can just apply and get. So those are definitely the kind of options I would go for if I were to like just start out. And I think those small booths, usually I haven't tried one yet, but I've seen a lot of my small business owner friends do them. But the reason why I haven't done them is because I'm still schooling, and usually it's like a whole week long. So there's like weekdays, but the traffic there is definitely quite guaranteed. Yeah.
So the commitment is if you were to do that, you have to be there the whole week lah.
Yeah, for the
essentially,
shopping malls.
For the
one.
shopping
Yeah.
malls. Okay, interesting. So then I think just now you were also talking a little bit about how when you were doing all these booths, you essentially have very direct feedback with your customer base, right? Like how was that kind of iterative process and how did it inform your new launches or your new stickers, or like how does that work? I mean, for us, when we do a business, when you interact with your customer, the customer will tell you all sorts of things, right? And then maybe a bit need to be a bit bigger, maybe this series is cuter, need to do more, that one nobody wants, like how was that kind of like feedbacking, live session with them, and how did it inform your future business strategies or your new product launches?
So I think something that I really did starting out at the first 10 booths was whenever a customer seemed to be a bit more outgoing and like to chit chat with me more, I would actually ask them, oh, is there like any animals or kind of things you want to see in these stickers that you don't really see now? And usually they will start suggesting some of their favorite animals that I haven't designed yet. So I would note them all down into like a long to-do list, and I would actually make it a point to make those stickers like from what I feel would work. And a lot of them has actually become like one of my better sellers. Like for example, I remember some saying, oh, you should do some otter stickers or capybara stickers, duck stickers. So I made those stickers and then it became like quite popular. So that was also when I realized that, oh, actually getting feedback from customers is really important. So if I can't booth, I would do like those Instagram story questions also. That's another way I did it.
Awesome, great. So did the duck, capybara, otter become a keychain? Because in the dchtoons world, the mark of something being very popular is it becomes a keychain, right?
So the duck and the otter have become keychains. Capybara, not yet.
So your capybara fans, you gotta work harder, visit the booth, buy more, then you'll know, say, let's make this a keychain. Let's talk a little bit about the content strategy, right? Because, for start 500 to like 2005, and then you did that whole like 365. I don't know how y'all do it lah, but but it's a thing. Okay, so like in TFC, we have like a 10-man team. So we are churning content, but we have like a whole bunch of people behind, right? You're a solo guy in this, right? And my goodness, you got school and then you got this business and then you're doing content every day, right? So tell me a little bit about this 365-day content challenge.
Starting out, it was really awkward because if you actually like scroll down all my videos, you see the first few videos I did, a lot of it didn't have any like narration or no like talking head videos where I like speak to the camera. A lot of it were just like edits from clips that I had at booths. But I realized that those videos weren't performing very well. So I knew that I had to change something. And personally, when I was like doom scrolling through my feed, I realized I like those videos where people are talking either through a voiceover or like talking straight to the camera. So I told myself, okay, even though it's uncomfortable, I need to like try to do it. So it was really awkward at first. Like I remember my first video, I actually spent like more than an hour just trying to say a few lines. And I played around with the voice, like the tones of my voice, the energy. Like it just felt off. And honestly, when you like first hear yourself, you put on an accent. Yeah, so it feel very awkward. But it was only after making videos for about a month, it started to feel a bit more natural, and it's every day for a month, so that's about 30 videos already. And that was when things started to get easier. Something that I did to kind of manage my time is I would gather as much footage as possible. So every small thing I was doing, I just put my tripod there, let my phone film for like a minute. So whether I'm like packing an order or I'm like cleaning up my room to start packing orders, like every small little thing. And honestly, doing those videos where you have to record lines, it can be quite time consuming. So just to hit the quota of 365 days, I filled up those gaps where I couldn't do those voiceover videos with edits. Some of the edits I would do is like POV, you're a small business owner with big dreams, like just put a line, caption, and then you just throw in some clips. Some of them actually did quite well, surprisingly. So sometimes it's like a mystery. Those lower effort videos can actually perform better. So
it's true. And I think that is like 101 to content, right? Essentially, you probably have like a main vein of the content that you want to do. But then in between, because you got no time, then you just have to throw in some fillers, right? Animator, we call it fillers, right? Just throw in some fillers, keep the thing going, keep people engaged. But then the main content will come back whenever it is ready, right? Okay, fair. So yeah, let's tell the audience. Let's review to the audience. How much are you making out of this thing? And like what was revenue like?
Okay, fun fact. I registered my business about a year ago. So since then, the revenue generated is quite mind-blowing when I did the math, but it was past 100K.
Oh my god. Selling stickers and keychains.
Okay, but to be honest, it doesn't just come from selling stickers. Like I've created a few income streams that contributed to this, but it's all under dchtoons. I think there's like 5. So first is my website. Another one is booths. I have a sticker club which like helps me get.
There's a sticker club.
Yeah, I have a sticker club.
Okay.
Yeah, sticker club members really nice and they support me monthly.
Okay.
I also.
So how does it? It's a subscription model essentially.
Subscription, correct.
Okay,
correct.
so then you will give them like a blind box or all sorts of stickers inside, is it?
Every month you get like mystery stickers and like it's actually the same price, if not better than what you would get when you buy from my website. So like on my website you get 5 stickers, it's $5, right? For my sticker club, you also get, it's $5. You get 5 stickers plus unique print for that month. So it's like a motivational print. So yeah, it's like a value add thing since you're doing it monthly.
And how much would that subscription cost?
I have like 3 tiers. So I got a $5, a $10 and a $20. But the unique one is the $20 one because apart from getting your 20 stickers and the motivational print, you also get any new stickers I launched that month. So it's on top of the 20 stickers.
Okay. That is a very good. How many people subscribe to that?
I just counted this morning. And it's currently 48 active
subscribers.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Shout out to all you sticker club people.
Thank you.
Later we talk more. And does it include shipment? The cost? Probably not, right? Shipment is probably quite expensive, right? For $5 ticket.
No leh. It's actually like, because sticker club is only open to locals. So with stickers being so small and light, I'm actually able to mail it out. So it's not as costly. Okay.
Later we can talk a little bit about the logistics side of the business. Yes. Okay, what else? What are the other income streams?
Right? Wait, I've said what? Website.
Booth. Sticker club.
Consignments at retail shops. And another one would be quite a huge portion, which is when I design for brands. So that one is more of a service.
How much of that accounts for like designing for brands?
So designing for brands is like out of the 100K-ish, it will be about 40% of it. Yeah, so 40% of it comes from designing for brands and working with companies, wholesale orders.
I think, cannot say a quick tip but I think for a lot of business, because there's a lot of the so-called wisdom out there to tell people to focus. When they're doing a business, don't spread yourself too thin. But I think, Dylan here has essentially showed you that, some things can be kind of done together. There's some symbiotic element to this, right? Because if you didn't do your website, your online, your presence, and like make that $1 sale, you wouldn't have gotten your $30,000-$40,000 deals, right? So it's kind of like together. And I think that's an important part to all, businesses or like aspiring business owners. You do need to kind of see it from that right? But it's a bit of a dance. It's not so clear.
But somehow everything like connects in a way. Something that I also realized is connections is like really big thing. And a lot of connections actually came from doing booths. So because when I'm doing booths, I'm putting myself out there, interacting with strangers, right? You really don't know who you can meet. And actually a lot of things have branched out from doing booths, especially like wholesale orders.
What is your best month? Right, and like so 100,000 is like your top, like that's your whole year thing, right? Just before I go into supply chain, I just want to understand like what's your best month and why?
Okay, my best month was right after my first viral video. Okay, a little bit of context about that viral video. So I registered my business around end of May, and then I did my daily posting since middle of June. And then about 1 month in, I got my first viral video. And that was a video talking about why I offer free delivery on all my stickers. And after the rest of the video is just talking about my whole sticker business. And it got like 10 point something K likes. And then views is inching towards 1 million already. So until now, I'm still getting likes, and it's been almost a year. So that month, the video that went viral was in July. In August, it already kind of built up. So August, there was a combination of viewers from my TikTok, from my Instagram, and in total generated 15K in that month.
Just
which is-
online sales.
Yeah, and at the time, I also had a few income streams, no projects with companies yet, but I went to check, 12 point something came from the website alone. And the rest
Nice.
came from booths and consignments.
You also talk a little bit about consignment. Consignment is probably not a big part of your business, right? It's something you're trying. Is that a situation?
It's something that I wish to expand in the future because it's something that really the nature is a bit more passive. Yeah, so basically what it is there's some physical shops that are willing to put my stickers at their shop, and then I get paid per unit sold, and that has actually contributed to quite a consistent income. So every month I'm able to expect that I can actually generate this amount.
What is the kind of split? Because for all of you tuning in, if you don't know, consignment essentially means that you carry the cost, right? You carry the product, you put it where they are, and then when they sell, maybe they get 30%, maybe they get 20%, depending on what's your arrangement, right? So is there some ballpark to help us understand better?
So the different shops that I work with quite a few to like test out, but currently the ones I'm working with is the Alley. So they have like 4 outlets that have my stickers. And then one that I've been working with for quite a long time is Hengbox Supplies, which is a Korean stationery shop at Haji Lane. So that was also why I chose, because it's like a good location, tourist attraction. And yeah, the consignment, usually the rates would be between 20 to 40%. Like they would take 20 to 40% of the revenue generated. But because that is quite a hefty chunk, it also means that I had to increase my prices slightly when it's sold there. But actually that was something I kind of learned after a few months in, because when I first did my very first consignment, I sold it at the exact same price as what I did on my website, because I had the fear that people would see my website and find it cheaper, or and they'll just get it from my website and not buy from the shop. So I told myself, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna absorb the cost and price it the same. But it turned out that I didn't earn much after they took the huge cut. And then I kind of decided to increase the prices there by just $1 more. And in a way, it justified itself, because I started to get messages from followers saying, oh, I need this sticker in a rush. How long will the delivery take? And delivery is something that is out of my control. It takes time to pack it and mail it out. So by the time they get it, the party would have ended already or something. They're getting it for birthday
It's
or
them
something.
sian to get it after your celebration.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So end up they will say, oh, do you have a booth going on now? But the odds of that happening is really low. And they would say, do you have any physical shop? Owning a physical shop yourself is really expensive. You have to pay for the land. A way to kind of get around that was working with these consignment shops. And that way I could direct people to these shops and say, oh, my stickers are actually at this shop. You can get them. They are just slightly higher price, and honestly they wouldn't mind, because they want it at a faster rate, faster time, so they don't mind paying a little bit more.
The dynamics make sense for your stockies, or what we would call stockies, essentially the people that stock up, your product. That's okay for them.
Yeah, it's lower risk on them. They don't have to pay for anything upfront.
Okay. That is very interesting. Yeah, let's talk about the big vein of the business, right? Which essentially supply chain. Managing your SKUs. Shift moving things around, all that is a big beast in itself, right? So you have so many stickers, and I mean, if you look at his videos, right, you will see that there's an organizer pretty much at the back, everything compartmentalized. Tell us how this started at your home, and then you shifted out from your home, that. How did that supply chain kind of evolve over time?
First started out in my bedroom, right? And my bedroom is not that big. It's kind of small. It really just fits like a bed, a table, and some floor space. As I started to stock up my inventory, it all had to be put in my room, because I didn't want to disturb the rest of the house. And it went to the point where I had lots of cardboard boxes, stickers in packets sprayed across the whole floor, because whenever I was packing orders in my room, I had to look for the sticker. So I didn't want to take it out all the time. So I just left it spread out all across the floor. Every night when I need to go to bed, I need to climb over the boxes to sleep. Wake up, first thing I see is the stickers. So yeah, work-life balance, not very good. Yeah. Then slowly when I got like my first wholesale order, not really wholesale, it's wholesale plus custom design. So that one was a project with early childhood education. So that one was quite a big project. I think we did like 10,000 stickers and 1,000 sticker sheets and all custom design. So that led me to having a lot of this inventory just for this project. And obviously it couldn't fit in my room anymore. So it kind of spilled into the living room. So after that thing happened, it kind of made me realize, oh, I need more space. So I started to look for places to rent. I even was so ambitious. I was thinking, hey, it's time to get my own physical shop. But after I saw the price, I was like, never mind, it's too expensive. So I started to look for alternatives. And then I came across storage spaces. So it was something that I could like work around. So it's actually meant to just store any like, maybe you got extra furniture in your house, you don't want to throw, you just want to keep it somewhere. That's like kind of the main use for it. But I told myself maybe I can make it into like my own little studio. So I just looked for storage units nearby and I found one. It was quite nearby, just like a few bus stops away. And end up I transformed it into my own studio and I was able to hold a lot more inventory and hire my friends to pack wholesale orders for me. And yeah, it's really good. Like it helped me kind of separate my work life and like resting time also. But I would say when I'm in the studio, I'm just doing work. When I'm home, I'm resting. I thought this would kind of like solve the issue about work-life balance, but I end up staying at the studio until very late. Yeah, until the point I have to chase after the last bus at 1+ a.m.
Oh my goodness. You are hustling. You are really hustling.
Yeah, like, okay, it's a bit of a problem. Like, I just keep doing the work. And when it's not completed, I don't feel at peace. Not very good. Yeah.
It's okay. Step by step. You'll get better at this, right? Yeah. And then eventually if the team grows, then they will manage that. But that is quite a journey. Okay. So tell me a little bit about the supply, like where, if you don't mind sharing, like you don't need to say who you're printing with, but it's like, are you printing locally? Or are you printing like in elsewhere? And then like how are you kind of managing that SKU process? I don't know if you have some thought around, like when stickers come, what happens? And then when it goes out, how do you track this whole thing?
So inventory, right, is honestly still a thing that is a challenge that I'm still facing till now because it's always expanding. So my sticker supplier is local. And reason being because that's my main product, I want to be able to like work with the supplier really closely. And whenever I have those like corporate companies reach out, want to get wholesale orders or that, the turnaround time needs to be really quick. And yeah, having a local manufacturer is the best option, I feel. For keychains, which is like a bit higher cost to make, I started out wholesale, but as I approached like the thousands in pieces, I realized that, actually purchasing it from overseas is much better. So I decided to do overseas for keychains, but local for stickers.
So tell me a little bit more about that distribution process and to your customers. How do you kind of ship it to them? And yeah, talk a little bit about that.
My website, it's open 24/7. So basically, when an order comes in, right now, the orders is quite a big chunk of time requirement. Like packing the orders needs a lot of time. So I actually have my mom. My mom is the one who packs the orders.
Hey, mom, very supportive.
Yes. My followers would know that I call her Mama Toons.
Mama
like
Toons,
dchtoons, Mama Toons.
Okay.
So Mama Toons will pack my orders maybe like 2 to 3 times a week. So I try to get the orders out as soon as possible because if not, the orders will start piling up and it'll take a lot of time to pack all of them. So after the orders are packed, I'll mail them out and in just like 1 to 2 working days, they'll get it. So it's quite fast.
Is there some thoughts around why you sell directly on your website and not through like aggregator marketplace, Lazada, Shopee, Amazon, all those?
So personally, there's like 2 things. Okay, there's 2 things that came into my mind when I ever wanted to venture into like selling on a marketplace. So first thing is that because I'm selling a really low ticket item, like 1 sticker, 5 pieces and above, $1 each, those platforms will take fees. And it's usually quite a big chunk, like it could be around 5%, 5 to 10% sometimes. And that is not something that I really wanted for the business because even though the profit margin is quite high, if they take off that chunk, it's like a lot of revenue kind of wasted, Another thing is that I realized that when I bought things from, let's say Shopee, I don't remember which brand I bought it from. I just tell people I bought it from Shopee. So it's not very good for the branding. So I wanted people to know that they got it from dchtoons. So I didn't want to put it on a marketplace because because it might affect the branding. Oh, one more thing that just came to mind is that these marketplaces, like I would say Shopee, it is really competitive. And for stickers specifically, the market on Shopee is like really saturated with direct manufacturers from China, from Indonesia. And they are able to sell the stickers at like 50 pieces for 50 cents.
Huh?
Yeah, like $1. So it's like really...
Manufacturer rate.
Yeah, correct. And that's because the people listing it are the manufacturing facilities. They earn money from the manufacturing, not from the designs. Yeah, so it's really competitive, but it's a really different kind of audience that purchase those, because those manufacturing ones are really just like doing it for the masses. Quality might not be the same kind of quality standard. The stickers may not be waterproof or that kind of thing. But personally, what I was going for is I wanted my stickers to be affordable, but designs is something that was like really important to me. So I made sure to put a lot of thought behind every design, made sure it stood out from like those from the manufacturers listings, all that. And yeah, that was why I didn't want to choose those marketplaces.
How do you learn all these things, along the way? What is that kind of like mindset or the kind of process that you go about picking up all these things? Because as a fellow small business owner, right, then the problems never end. There are tons of problems. It keeps coming, right? So how do you kind of go through this whole process to learn and then optimize and then execute it?
I think for my small business, it was really just a lot of trial and error. Yeah, like I was afraid to try a lot of things, but I still did it anyway. And I think it's about risk management. So I didn't want to go into something like put all my eggs in one basket. Like that is a bit too risky for me. But I'm not really afraid to just try different things. So whenever I try different things, I reflect a lot and I think, oh, what can I learn from this? If it's not good, I'll really just like stop. For example, before dchtoons, I did a lot of freelance work. It was after my O-level. So it's towards the end of the year when I was 16. And a lot of my classmates were starting to get part-time jobs. And I was a bit FOMO, I felt left out. And I wanted to do a part-time job also. So my first ever part-time job was a warehouse job. I went to the warehouse and I packed orders. And it was really tiring because you had to wear like a safety vest, boots and everything. It was really hot. And after a few weeks of working at the warehouse, I told myself, oh man, this is not for me.
I cannot do this forever.
Yeah, so I told myself I had to pick a new skill, because that way I had like something new to offer and not just trade my time for money. So the first skill that I picked up was Photoshop. So I learned to Photoshop people, and the freelance gig I did was on Carousel. So Carousel at that time, it was really just known as like a second-hand item place that you would sell your things, right? But at that time, it was quite timely. They launched like a service option. When I was 16, 2020, they just launched the service option, if I'm not wrong. And I was like one of the early onboarders for that. So I listed Photoshop services. And actually that was quite a lucrative business, I would say. Like I started to get a lot of gigs. Some would be to edit their own like family pictures. Maybe they forgot to add someone into the picture. They want me to add them in. But I think the one that was like quite lucrative was when photographers started to reach out, and maybe they got a lot of wedding set, like a few hundred photos of a couple at a wedding. And generally like photographers, they'll be able to edit in bulk in Lightroom, like the lighting and all that. But sometimes the client wants like slimming, and that is not something you could do. You have to really take time on each picture for that. And some of the photographers are willing to pay me to edit every single photo to slim down the person. So that contributed a lot of revenue to like the Photoshop business. But there was a reason why I shifted away from that. It was because I realized it was quite a trading time for money kind of thing, not very scalable. Because after all, it's a service business. Only way I could expand it was to charge higher. And at a certain point, I couldn't charge any much higher because it'd be too far from the market rate. So I told myself I wanted a product business. And that was when the idea of doing a sticker business came into play. But stickers weren't also my first product. I am a person that didn't like to take so much risk, right? So I did print on demand. So I tried a couple of different marketplace platforms, and I didn't want to hold any inventory because I told myself, if I hold into any inventory, there is risk. I want to run this business risk-free, So I put my designs on different marketplaces, put it on anything, t-shirt, mugs, stickers also. But those didn't do very well because I didn't have the products on hand. I couldn't do any like marketing or advertising, all that. So that was when I decided to start holding some inventory, which gradually led to now, because when business gets better, I start holding more inventory.
Do you start with only a sticker inventory, or do you try like the different products also?
For this
Yeah,
business,
when you first started this,
only stickers.
Only stickers.
Yeah, because
okay.
those were the lowest cost to make.
Okay. Great. I really thoroughly enjoyed this story, I don't usually say this because I have a lot of stories. So, but I think it is so mind-blowing to hear your journey, testing it out, and I think you divulge pretty much everything, to the audience. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Is there anything you want to say about like the future of the brand? Where do you want to bring this, and for people that want to connect with you, where can they connect?
Okay, you want to connect with me? You can find me on my socials, Instagram and TikTok at dchtoons. My website, dchtoons.com. And
you still stick to .com, never do like .co, .io.
I feel like .com is still like quite clean and simple.
OG,
right?
yes, okay.
And in regards to like future plans, I plan to expand into wholesale more. So I really hope to start doing more wholesale orders and get my stickers into more physical shops. Hopefully international into the future, because currently I'm working with just local companies.
Has it been a challenge trying to scale internationally, or is that just like you just let it run?
Honestly, I'm just letting it run because what I'm doing now is working, and I'm just gonna keep creating videos. And I think by continuing that mindset of putting myself out there, an opportunity that might link to an overseas thing might happen.
Great. Thank you for your time. I think that was a great story. If you want to connect with Dylan, he has shared with you where to go, dchtoons, Instagram, on his website. So yeah, I think this is an inspiring story for anybody that's trying to start out, right? I don't think it's just about the youth, but I feel the pressure, So 16-year-old these days, guys, start new things, 17, start a business, it's like 21, is it? Are you
21 this year.
21 this year as a 100,000 revenue business. Oh my goodness, what's going on? So the numbers are catching on. So a bit pressure, huh? But we all start somewhere. Ultimately, you'll find the way forward for the things that you like, but also a business model that makes sense. Because you don't just pursue passion for passion. It will become a passion. It's just it will never get to run like a business. So yeah, with that, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you like what we do, go to thefinancialcoconut.com, put your email there so that I can route out of the algorithm. Algorithm is damn shit, right? We are constantly chase the algorithm to reach you, but I don't want to do that. I just want to reach you. So, put your email on our website so that when we have the next update on what is an interesting episode, we have a next event, we have next thing for you, we can reach you directly. So go to thefinancialcoconut.com to put your email address. Meanwhile, that's all. We'll see you at the next TFC Business Show. Bye-bye.
Bye.